Alright, so this video right here is displaying what is a Saturn return. See, a lot of people know about Mercury retrograde, but they don't know about Saturn return. Saturn return is the time or the phrase that you go through from the ages of 27 through around 30. So some people is catching around the age of 30, some is 28, some is 29, and then some people is catch this at 30. Reason why Jesus was going through so much things when he was 30 years old. So usually Saturn return is a time when you go through all your depression, the time when you feel like the whole world is against you. It's mainly a time when you realize that the friends that surround you don't serve you no purpose, and it's time to grow up. You feel me? It's like literally the time that you have to grow up, because if you don't grow up now, you like this the time where you will realize like, damn, I'm 30. You feel me? Like you can even be 28, 29, but it's still like, damn, like I'm 30. That's like when Meek Mill say he getting 30 years old and he want to take his life more serious, and Seven Streeter and all these other people. Like it's a lot of people that went through their Saturn return, and you see what happens at the age of 30 for these people. Like even Chris Brown, when Chris Brown was in his last month of Saturn return, he ended up selling all of his clothes and everything that was material to him, because Saturn do also represents the material world, just like Venus. But Saturn is really the material world. They call Saturn the devil. So that's the time, like when you realize, man, all these things that I'm living for is nothing. Like it's the time that you really want to grow up around this time. Like you really start taking your life more serious. You really start seeing the whole world in a whole different view. So like most of the people who going through a Saturn return in Capricorn, that was just now, that was like, there was people who were like born from 1988 or 1889 to like 1991. And you can see, like, I have friends who was born around that time, and they acting more different than they usually act. Like most of these people are very more mature than how it used to be. But the people who are born from 1991 through 1994, when they was born, Saturn was in Aquarius. So they give you some things that like they was going through, or the world was going through when they was born in. Last time, 1992, 1993, we had the whole riot for Rodney King. That's when everybody was fucking going crazy, and everybody was mad at the verdict that they was found not guilty, the police who beat Rodney King. And the time before that Saturn was in Aquarius was 1963 to 1964, which was civil rights movement, when all that stuff was going on. You feel me? So Saturn is usually returned to its same spot every 29 years. So when every time you was born, once you get like from 28 to 30, you'll be going through your Saturn return. Saturn usually stays in zodiac constellation or sign for 3 years. So it's not like you're going to go through it just when it gets straight to your astral degree. You're going to be going through it for them whole 3 years. And when Saturn gets into the same degree as when you was born, is when it's really going to be dawning on you like, what the fuck is going on, man? I need to change my life. But for people who didn't already know what's going on, they'll make preparation where it won't affect them as hard as the average person who don't know what's going on when Saturn gets back in the same spot it was at when they was born. So this mainly is a time of depression, time when you see that your friends ain't shit. Like I keep saying this and I can't stress enough. It's the time to grow up, like actually grow up. You feel me? And Saturn and Aquarius stands for the friends. Like all the people is go through it, but people who have Saturn and Aquarius, it's like, oh my gosh, like it's hitting them even more harder because like other people they can just go, oh man, I don't want to work the same career that I was working in before this. But when you have Saturn and Aquarius, it's like not just your career that you was going in or the direction in life that you was going on, it's also your friends. You also get to see your friends for who they really are. Like all of the veils thinning all the way where you can see all the way through everything that you're going through, so you can see who's for you and who's not, and there'll be no confusion on that level. You might be depressed if you can't come to terms like, yeah, they ain't for me. But if you could see through these things, you could see, man, yeah, man, I need to get my life together. This is a time when you become an adult. Like last time, like me, I was born in Saturn, Aquarius. When I was born, my father was going through his Saturn return, and I was his first child. And before then, he was just somebody who just running the streets wild, making money. You feel me? Making thousands and millions and just bullshitting his whole life around. But as soon as you turn 30 or when you get into your Saturn return, for most people it's the time where you realize, man, I need to settle down. I need to have me some kids. I need to get me a girl who's right for me. I need to leave this job to pursue my passion. Or I might need to get this job. Or you might say, man, the girl who I'm going with or the person I'm going with, I need to get married to them. I need to settle down with these people. Whatever is not solid, you will see crumbling down in the front of you. So whatever foundations are not solid, they be the ones that will break up right in your face. Like it's gonna expose itself. So it's only making way for you to build your foundation correctly, if that makes sense. So whatever you see crumbling down when you in your Saturn return, you don't question it. Just go with the flow, because it's only making room for what's gonna be in your life.